Now to invite Professor Dr. Srikumar Chakravarthi, the Director of Postgraduate Studies, Research and Innovation at MAHSA University, to give the opening speech.
Thank you, Ms. Tara, and thank you, Dr. Syriac. I hope you all can hear me. And first of all, thank you for inviting me to be with you here today. And I would like to congratulate Dr. Syriac and your team for successfully organizing this wonderful international scientific conference with an apt team, which is leveraging accounting and business practices in the new norm. So this is quite appropriate in this era of IR 4.0. Now, we're all used to watching movies and TV shows. When you watch TV shows, the next show starts with where the previous show ended. So I'm going to continue with where Dr. Syriac ended when he used the word relentless onslaught of COVID. Dr. Syriac said that because of, we had planned to have this as a face-to-face conference, but because of the relentless onslaught of COVID, we made it online. So everything is changing now. What we plan to have as face-to-face is becoming online. And this is the new norm. And as much as you have planned a new norm, leveraging accounting and business practices in the new norm, this is what it all is about. You have already started it by having a conference which was supposed to be conducted face-to-face, which is now conducted online. So at this point, Dr. Syriac's team, our team, everybody in this university, everybody world over is struggling to make sense of what is happening post-COVID. We are actually finding ourselves in a very gray area of indecision. About 2 years ago, I never knew words like crisis management, enterprise agility, cost management, workforce resilience, innovation, cash flow. These are words I did not know. But now, almost in every meeting, these words are being discussed. Even though I'm a medical doctor, I haven't heard of this. I'm an administrative leader, but I haven't heard of these words. But now, almost in every meeting, these words are being discussed, because now this is critically important to every business, including the hospital industry, including healthcare, including universities, including medical schools, business schools. So out of curiosity, when these words came out in these meetings, I used to Google them, and I realized that all these are terms which have already been listed in the IBM Institute for Business Value. So these are our priorities right now. So our priorities are shifting towards all these kind of words because we are planning for an uncertain future. Just as Dr. Syriac said, we were uncertain as to whether this conference would be face-to-face or online. We have now done it online. So everything in life is uncertain, and we have to plan it to be done online. And when we do so, we may feel that we are having failures, but actually failures have to be turned to success. Now, always every success story is a rags to riches story. Now, when you take the example of some of the top people, for example, J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, and she was always a failure in her early life. She had the worst of nightmares. She had a bitter marriage and she divorced. She was a single mother. She was broke and penniless. But later, now she's among the top 10 richest people in the world. Again, that's because she was strong and determined to face her challenges. Now, the same goes to Steve Jobs. Now, he started off his business in a garage, and he was broke. And later on, his company went on to be about 2 billion. In fact, on another note, there are many top businessmen and entrepreneurs who started life in a garage. I think even Bill Gates and I think Mark Zuckerberg, a lot of people started business with a garage. So maybe Dr. Syriac can actually think of the next year's conference being entrepreneurship beginning from a garage, It would be good. There are many people who have garages, but we have cars in it. Unless we are like Steve Jobs or like any other entrepreneurs with minds who can actually convert a garage into a business. So, yeah, talking about the other guy, Bill Gates. Bill Gates was also almost a failure for many, many years, and uh, he was also a university dropout. And at the age of 31, I think he became a youngest self-made billionaire. Now, I could go on and on. Albert Einstein was a dropout, was expelled from school, but he won the Nobel Prize. Abraham Lincoln had so many rejections and failures, but he ended up as the president of the United States. Michael Jordan, basketballer, one of my favorite sportsmen, he said that during his career he had 9,000 misses on the basket while trying to shoot, and he lost 300 games. But he became a success, and he failed over and over again, and that's the reason for his success. The same thing with Spielberg, Walt Disney, um, the owner of Starbucks, Van Gogh, the painter, the artist who committed suicide at a very young age in his late 30s, but after his death, his paintings became popular. So the list goes on and on. Everybody actually adapts to success, and they are successful because they adapted to a change. And in this case, now we all have to adapt to a change, because our change in this case is a new norm. And when it is a new norm, we actually have to consider these words, as I told you: workforce safety. Every company is cutting down on manpower. Customer retention. We need to retain our customers. In our case, as a university, we need to retain our customers who are students. Cost cutting. Cost management is a better word. Cost cutting is a very crude word. Cost cutting scares us. Cost management and cash flow. It's important that only when the cash flows, salaries are paid. And in many universities, cash flow is through student fees, through research funding, through collaborations, which is why all these are innovations, uh, enterprise, all these are valuable aspects. And digital transformation. Now, digital transformation was always a word which was used in movies. In James Bond movies, any new gadgets that come up, it is so-called digital transformation. But now the world has increased in digital transformation from less than 20% usage to nearly 80 to 90% usage, purely because of COVID is a medical disease, but it has brought out the digital, and it has brought out the media in the world. So our name of the game is change. We need to identify competitiveness, workforce resilience as and digital transformation, and we need to work on this. So basically, this pandemic, again, I continue with where Dr. Syriac has left out, it has accelerated digital transformation. For many of us, we did not know what is digital transformation, but now even a 7, 8 year old child will be able to tell you what is the impact of digital media in the world or in his life. So these are various initiatives that are being used in businesses also. Because why? Employers, bosses now trust technology more than you or me or the normal workforce. So we are pushing ahead with technology because, again, this I read from IBM that in the next 30 years or even less, 800 million jobs would be replaced with just technology. And nearly 80% of the people who are now studying to do a particular thing will not be doing that because these jobs will be redundant. So COVID has created a new norm, and this new norm is a permanent change in our organization. We need to adjust. We need to sort of automate everything and make it cloud-based activities. I cannot tell my staff that, okay, how many of you are here today in class? Okay, can I have the attendance? It's a waste when I know that I can reach out to students sitting all over the world, and each of them is still as attentive to me in a class, digital online class, than on a face-to-face class, and I'm able to communicate with the same efficiency or even better. So in this aspect, I learn a lot of new words: AI, artificial intelligence, IoT, Internet of Things. All we know is things, but things is Internet of Things. One of the things that we plan in our university is a smart village, where we are going to have almost everything in the village runs digitally, where I can see it on a smartphone. I can even have drones that are actually moving around, and these drones will replace 10 of my security people. So with $1,000 drone, I replace 10 security people who I may pay is $15,000 per month. So I'm actually minimizing my costs by about 84% using a drone. So now, in many industries, many employees have been uh, permanently laid off since the pandemic began. But that doesn't mean that jobs have stopped. We have increase in automation, increase in adopting AIs. All our activities are contactless. Just because restaurants haven't closed doesn't mean we have not eaten food. Food continues to be delivered from restaurants, including Grab. So basically, I won't take much of your time, but basically, my main aspect of what I wish to convey today is that when it comes to focus in business now, in the new norm, it is crisis management, workplace safety, and security. These are things that we never thought of 2 years ago. We never thought anything like a crisis would happen. But despite all this, Amazon has reached 70-80% of profits this year. Apple has reached 60% addition profits this year. How come all industries are closing and these industries have reached high profits? Because these have always been online. What we see as a new norm has always been a normal norm for them. And there are many companies which are listed in Google that have already converted most of their businesses and employees online, which means we spend more time at home working for your employer rather than in an industry, in an office working for an employer. So basically, our focus now is on new business ventures and expansions, but sitting at home. So it is a challenge. For those of you who watch the movie show, movie series Fast and Furious, there's a whole series of movies, Fast and Furious 1 to Fast and Furious 9. It used to star Paul Walker and Vin Diesel, and now it stars only Vin Diesel because Paul Walker died in a car crash. Now, if you notice, in the movies, cars would be zooming around, and from a distance, you'll have a person zooming in with a camera from a helicopter filming the car chase. These were wonderful scenes which made these movies super hits. But Fast and Furious began its franchise in the early 2000s, and that time to record these movies, you needed a helicopter. You needed a helicopter pilot. You needed a man with his camera zoomed inside, expensive camera. But now FF8, FF7, FF9, all this is gone. We use drones. So a 2000 US dollar drone has replaced a helicopter pilot, and a person who is recording a cameraman. Two people have lost wonderful jobs. These are high-end paying jobs and a huge investment on a helicopter. So that is what is a transformation into a new norm all about. So as much as this is an example which I quoted from what I see in movies, and when it comes to human health, now there is a transformation. We all wear disposable masks and gloves, which means not only has business converted to a new norm, but life and love has also converted to a new norm. I cannot fall in love with a person. You cannot fall in love with a person seeing his or her face anymore. You will have to fall in love with the eyes only. So when it comes to new norm, adapting to a new norm involves a whole paradigm shift in life, in business, in entrepreneurship, in environment, in emotions, and in educations as well. So basically, there is no going back to normal. We have too many risks, too many opportunities, and the stakes are high. So let's take action. We change our workforce. We apply automation, artificial intelligence, and we be more flexible, working from home rather than working in campus. So I can go on and on, but many of these are probably being discussed in sessions today. So I actually noted from Dr. Syriac that today's scientific conference has a lot of interesting topics. And I'm happy to see that you are all keeping abreast of the latest business developments. And once again, I congratulate your Dr. Syriac's team and for your commendable effort. And I thank all the participants for participating in the conference, and I extend a warm welcome to all our local, international visitors and participants, and wish you all a successful events. I sign off for now, but I will be actively listening to all the participating talks and lectures, because in the new norm, I don't actually have to come over and sit anywhere to listen to a conference. I can sit and listen to it from the phone or while driving or even at home. So hopefully, I'll be able to listen to everything and enlighten myself a little more. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Prof. Sri. Now, please allow me now to invite Professor Datu, Dr. Ikram Shah bin Ismail, the Vice Chancellor of MAHSA University, to give us the inaugural address speech.
Thank you.